Welcome to your favourite day of the week, everyone, where it's our favourite time of year again. We're leading up until Christmas every single day. We're going for a strange, funny, and just downright bizarre story which has happened in history. Yesterday we went through a lady who took on the might of Saladin with a frying pan, and today we're going through a man who just can't stop eating. So let's see what's behind door number 8. TARRARE, the hungriest man in history. So this rather large chap here is a man by the name of TARRARE, a French showman and soldier who made quite the name for himself for the amount he could eat. Born sometime around 1772, he had an absolutely huge appetite, and by his teens he could eat a quarter of a cow a day. But he was still hungry despite how much he ate. His parents couldn't afford the food to feed him, so kicked him out of the house before he joined up with a band of prostitutes and thieves, where he soon became a star attraction in their travelling show as the man who could eat anything. In his act he would eat snakes, stones, dogs, cats, and even whole baskets of apples, as his mouth was unusually large, measuring roughly 4 inches jaw to jaw when fully open. In 1788 he was working in Paris as a street performer. However, on one occasion he suffered from intestinal obstruction, having to be treated by some extremely heavy laxatives before he made a full recovery. TARRARE, wanting to show that he was back to full health and could resume his act, he offered to eat the surgeon's watch and chain, and the unimpressed surgeon just responded that if you did, I'll cut you open and get it back. He absolutely baffled doctors, showing no sign of mental illness, and he even didn't put on any weight despite eating that much, as he only weighed 100 pounds at the age of 17, and he didn't vomit excessively either from all this overeating. However, his body wasn't the prettiest sight you'd ever see. His skin could stretch enormous amounts to fit all this food in his belly, and when he ate, he would blow up like a balloon. But after he emptied, his skin would sag down like a ball sack, where you could tie knots in it and probably even use the flaps as a bout. And I hope you're not eating during this, because that is an absolutely fucking disgusting image, but it's gonna get worse. So if you are eating, put your food aside for a moment. The mass eating caused him to constantly sweat like a slip and slide, and he absolutely stunk like sewer water, so much so that you couldn't be within 10 meters of him. He soon found his way into French military service. However, the meagre rations couldn't satisfy his appetite, so he completed side quests for other soldiers in exchange for their food, and even scavenged in bins for anything he could find. He was soon taken ill and given quadruple rations, but that still didn't satisfy him, and they wanted to conduct further tests on this absolutely fascinating man, so they set out a meal set for 15 people, and he ate all of that and then fell asleep, where it was noted he inflated like a balloon after all his eating. He was also recorded eating a live cat, tearing open its body with his teeth, drinking its blood, and then finishing everything but the bones, and then vomiting up the cat's fur and skin. The military, though, soon found use for his unusual abilities as a spy to pass messages through his body by eating them. But a man who stank of sewer water and couldn't speak a word of German attracted a lot of attention from the enemy Prussians. His first mission, he was asked to carry a message to an imprisoned French colonel, with TARRARE thinking this was extremely vital information. However, it wasn't an important message at all, as it was just a note asking if he had received a note, and TARRARE's spy abilities actually worked. He was soon captured trying to infiltrate Prussian lines, and after the message successfully passed through him, only to be found as a dummy message, he was taken to the gallows. However, he was given mercy at the last moment, and then chucked back to the French after a good beating. His horrific time with the Prussians made him beg to avoid further service, as he tried to find any cure for his insatiable appetite. Unfortunately for him, no cure seemed to work, and while he was at the hospital, he was caught trying to eat bodies from the morgue, drinking patients' blood when they underwent bloodletting, and even a 14-month-old baby going missing, with him being suspected. He was of course kicked out the hospital, and unfortunately for our man TARRARE, he died at the age of 26 to tuberculosis. His autopsy revealed he had a massive stomach and gullet, and they may have found out more about him, but his death stench was so unbearable they gave up as they couldn't stand a second more of his smell. An absolutely fascinating story, but you just can't help feel sorry for him. So I've been Jamie's Day, your favourite day of the week, and this was the man who just couldn't stop eating. Thank you so much for watching, everyone, and I hope you've all enjoyed, and join us tomorrow where we'll be going through the goodest boy in all of history. I'll see you all then. Peace.